You are most welcome on my channel. This video is dedicated to those army personnel and the civilians who were sacrificed their lives or uh, who sacrificed their lives against the Islamic terrorism all over the world, not all only in India. So my dedication to the all army personnel belong to any country, either USA, India, and Pakistan, Bangladesh, or any other countries which are fighting against the Islamic terrorism throughout the world. So now the chapter or topic is that why the Maulanas or Islamic scholars are escape litigation, escape litigation or palayan in Hindi from the discussion of the Islamic ideology of Quran and the Hadith and the life of Prophet Muhammad Sahib. What is the problem with all the Maulanas or Islamic scholars? They they are connied the eyes and they have no dare to face discussion with the non-Muslims or the ex-Muslims or any Islamic scholars. Even so many ex-Muslims are in India now that sociology and Mr. Sahil, Mr. From Pakistan, all over world, Jabbar Heritage, Samir, and so many. Even we have we have seen the discussion, the inconstructs of Islamic doctrine on the Jaipur dialogues by uh, Sanjay Dikshit, former former NIAS. So, what is the problem with the Maulanas with the discussion in context of the Islam and the Quran? This is the real question, and it is a prime question because the Islamic doctrine is totally against the humanity or kafirs. The Islamic doctrine are perpetrating the uh, crime and punishment to the non-Muslims without their any fault. You see, my European and American brethren, so many press or so many medias, so many channels or so many newspapers are trying to hide the brutality and cruelty of Islam. What is the benefit of this? Because they are taking a huge amount of money from the Islamic countries, as just Saudi Arabia, Turkey. Turkey is the main master of propagating the Islamic doctrine. Though it is now opened that in Turkey, there is a lot of ex-Muslims. More than 13% are ex-Muslim. Even the Quran were thrown by the school student in the school time. So this is showing that the all Muslims which are intelligent and logical or rational are thinking that Islam not a good religion, good not a cult or a path, but this is the path only to crush his enemies as Prophet Muhammad Sahib and his followers did at the time of when they were alive. All the companions of Muhammad Sahib looted the women and enslaved the children after won the battle as the Jews tribes, many tribes, Abu Abbas, Abu Nadir, uh, uh, Banu Qurayza, Banu Nadir, Banu Abbas, Banu Mustaqlik, Banu Khazra, so many tribes were looted by Prophet Muhammad Sahib and his companions. And these caravans were also looted by Prophet Muhammad and his companions due to only to looted the world. And it is very amazing that it has been certified in Prophet Muhammad Sahib Mal e Ganiman means looted, means robbery, dacoity, and enslaved the woman and used as sex slave are propagated, propagating by the Islam itself by its prophet that is not then Muhammad bin Abdullah. And even when one question asked from the Prophet Muhammad, what will be what will be after Qiyamah with your parents? Either they will go to hell or they will go to heaven. Then Prophet Muhammad replied to his companions that certainly my parents will be go to hell, or they are in hell. So such type of Islamic doctrine who always separated the brothers, mothers, wife, husband from each other. If even a single even a single family member is not following the Islam and rest the family are following the Islam, those people uh, disgrade the person who are not following the Islam. Even they 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 expelled that such person who was following Islam from their own family, as it has been happened so many times. As you see the Sachwala channel in Hindi and Urdu, basically in Hindi, Sachwala also told on his channel that he was dragged out from his family and his wife leave him and his children also leave him. This is the treacherousness of the Islam. Islam cannot respect to other non-Muslims or kafir. So this type of so how can we can say that Islam is the peace of religion? We we have to read some. This is the Quran. This is the Quran, and in this short version of Quran have has so many verses which are satanic verses and very against the humanity and the non-Muslims or kafir. So these press in the journalist in the Western media are only trying to hide the reality of the Islam because they are getting a huge amount of money from the Saudi Arabia and the communism, because communism and Islam is the same. Both are the same, and both are the faces of the one coin, because Islam has also dictatorship and same the communism has also a dictatorship. You see, in communism there is no democracy, there is no human values. Every day the person are being being tyrannized or being uh, prosecuted by these communist government. And same process is going on the Saudi Arabia and many Islamic country. If you are trying to expose the Islamic doctrine or violence of the Islam or the work of the Prophet Muhammad Sahib, that this truth is also under cover of the blasphemy, means you have to kill either or you have to go in imprisonment for 10 years or the life imprisonment. This is the real face of Islam, that Islam doctrine of Islam doing something wrong in this world. But if you are exposing the doctrine of Islam, you are very great enemy of the Islamic scholars and the Islamic followers. And it is possibility of 100% either you will be in jail or as in imprisonment, or you will be killed by the Islamic jihadist governments at Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and so many other governments who has the Islamic majority or the majority of Muslim or are the Islamic countries. So these Islamic countries are the great slaughterhouse to the non-Muslims. As you see in Pakistan, Christian and Hindu women are being abducted per day, and either they have to force to convert Islam, or after rape they are being killed by these Islamic fundamentalists in Pakistan, Bangladesh, and in Afghanistan. And it is very amazing that people of the Western media do not know that this is the real Islam, which is following by the Taliban, ISI, and all the Islamic terrorist organization. This is the real face of Islam. This is the real which has been described in Quran and Hadith. So we cannot feeling that is we don't know about the Islam, because all the scripture of the Quran and Hadith are available on internet, and you can easily search in this description of Quran Hadith on the internet, and so you must read the Quran and Hadith on internet. Otherwise, there is no provision to provide the Quran if you are non-Muslims. As per Islamic doctrine, you can find only Hadith, or you can take Hadith or purchase Hadith from the shops, but you cannot purchase the Quran if you are not Muslims. So, what is the problem? That the Islamic scholar are hiding the real face of Islam, or real brutality or treacherousness against the non-Muslims or kafir, and is not this is not happened that during the days or the present time. It was propagated by Prophet Muhammad Sahib himself and his companions, doing all these treacherous acts as the looted the wealth of the Jews and killing of the Jews, the rapes with the Jewish women, after then the rape of the Christian women, and the killing of the Christians, and after that the killing of the Zoroastrians, or known as Parsis, because Parsi were in majority Iran, Iraq, and northern Afghanistan, but they were they they were cleansed, which is known as an ethnic cleansing. They are the much sufferer of this ethnic cleansing by Islam. Though Islam has no pity with the Kashmiri Hindus. After coming a Sufi saint, so-called saint, I would like to say him as a devil or Satan. The Satan Ali Mir Hamdani came to India and he devastated all the demography of Kashmir. Many Kashmiri Hindus were dragged out from the Kashmir if they refused to adopt Islam or converted to Islam. And many women were raped by these Islamic fundamentalists when this Satan Ali Mir Hamdani came to in Kashmir. Though Kashmir is the resultant of the Sufism, that the large number of Hindus were forcibly converted to Islam or slitted by their neck if they refused to adopt the Islam or convert into Islam. So this is the treacherousness of the doctrine of Islam. But many peoples or many journalists are trying to hide these secret facts of Islam, that and they are propagating that Islam is a religion of peace, and even the Islamic scholars are also propagating this is the religion of peace. Then why all the tanzims or the organization of Islam organization on the name of the Prophet Muhammad Sahib and Jas-e Muhammad and Hezbollah Mujahideen, Laskar-e Toiba, the army of Muhammad, the army of Islam, and so many tanzim or organization which are propagating the violence throughout the world. This is the real face of Islam. So we would I would like to tell you there is so many verses of Quran which are propagating killing the non-Muslims or kafir throughout the world. This is why every non-Muslim or kafir and my Christian brethren from the Western countries are under threat of Islam. But it is very amazing fact, or it is very pathetic, that the Christians of the European countries or the United States of America do not know what is the reality of the Islam. They are thinking about the Islam, that the Islam is the peace of religion, and this is a uh, very very accurate, or has no false expectation. But the truth is that Islam has so many false expectations. That is the false science, false expectation of the life, and all the gossip are described in Quran, and all criminology is described in Quran. That is the kul the kafirs after the passing the month of Ramzan or the haram, and then please kill them, take cambuse, and whenever you find them, you will slit their necks. Otherwise, if they come to Islam or convert into Islam, then please leave them, because Allah is very kind-hearted. So, such type of Allah kind-hearted is only when you are Muslim. Otherwise, Allah is very cruel. Though Allah is a false expectation of Prophet Muhammad said, there is no Allah in this world. This is my claim. And if any Islamic scholar can prove that Allah is in world, I will also approve the Islam. But I will never convert to Islam because Islam is not a religion or not a peace, but it is a treacherousness of the uh, prophet deeds which has been which have been committed by the Prophet Muhammad or Muhammad bin Abdullah, that is known as Muhammad Saib. And even Muhammad's uncle Abu Talib never converted to Islam because he knew that our uh, our our niece is just some fanatic and uh, some problem with the mind. He was the ellipse patient, known as a Mirg in Hindi, and because when he was under the influence of this disease, he always created a new verse of the Quran, and at that time, the water, watery, his mouth became watery with the foam, and then uh, they created a new verse of the Quran in favor of only the Muslims and himself. This is the reality of Islam. So many verses of the Quran are so violent that you cannot say that these verses of Quran in favor of the humanity. So now I would like to read some part of the Quran. You have to understand what is the reality of the Quran. So I now I start. When our commands came and water gushed forth in torrents, we said to Noah, take into the ark a pair from every species and your own family, except those on whom the sentence has already been passed, and all the true believers, but only a few believed along with him. Noah said, embark on it, it in the kingdom of God, be its selling and its ensuring truly. My Lord is forgiving and merciful. Allah is the ark sealed along with them through mountainous waves. Noah called out to his son, who stood apart, "Oh, my son, embark with us and do not be among the deniers." He replied, I shall seek refuge on a mountain which will serve me from the water. Noah cried, today there is no refuge for the anyone from God's command except for those to whom he always mercy. Thereupon a wave swept in the between them, and Noah's son was among those who were drowned. A voice carried out, earth, swallow up your water, so sky sees your rain. The waters receded. The command was fulfilled. The ark came to test on Mount Judy. It was said, away with the wrongdoing people. So, whatever I have read, it is a totally or false expectation, and it expectation has been stolen by the Torah, the book of the Judaism. So the Quran is the copy paste, 75% copy paste of Bible and Torah. So it has been proven now that this is not the Allah book because there is no Allah on this earth, and this is not sky book because when this is sky book and when it is sent by the Allah, then why the all verses of Quran resemble to the verses of Torah and Bible? This is the false expectation of Quran, and it proves that Quran is the only copy paste of Bible and Torah. Some changes has been made by Prophet Muhammad Sahib for his vested interest, as he proclaimed as he is prophet, who said, who certified that Prophet Muhammad was prophet, because even a single verses of Quran has been not described in favor of Muhammad bin Abdullah that he was prophet ever, and even there is only 4 times the Muhammad name came in description of the Quran, but the Jesus name came 100 times in the Quran. It means this is the copy paste of the Bible and Torah. So the Quran is 75% of the Quran description is stolen from the Torahs or the Christianity. So how we can believe on this book when this book, this this book script has been stolen by the Torahs and Bible of the Judaism and Christianity respectively. So now we have see another verse. Uh, so I would like to told you some chapter, some thing. The Quran is a book of God. Quran is a book of Allah revealed for the Prophet Muhammad Sahib. It did not come to him in the form of complete book, but in parts over a period of 23 years. The first part was revealed in 610 AD when the Prophet Muhammad was in Mecca. Subsequently, different parts continued to be revealed regularly, the final part being revealed in 632 when the Prophet was in Medina. There are 114 chapters in the Quran, both long and short. The verses number about 600, 6,600 to meet the needs of recitation. The Quran was divided into 30 parts. These parts are finally set in order under the guidance of angel Gabriel, though whom God had revealed the Quran. When the Quran was revealed in the first quarter of the 7th century, paper had already been invented. Thus, paper known as papyrus was made by hand from the fibers of certain trees. Whenever any part of the Quran was revealed, it was written down on papyrus or in Arabic kirtas. During the process, people committed the verses to memory, the Quran being the only Islamic literature which was recited in prayer as well as being read out for the purpose of Dawah. In this way, the Quran continued to be simultaneously memorized as well as written down. This method of preservation continued during the lifetime of Prophet Muhammad. In this way, the Quran was preserved during the lifetime of the Prophet. So here question arise when the so-called false Allah was so strong or so powerful, then why he not guided the Prophet Muhammad Sahib? Please consolidate this book or comprised this book as a whole. After completion of the Quran in 23 years, as the Islamic scholar described, or it has been written in the Quran or Hadith. So, what is the problem of Allah and Prophet Muhammad Sahib that he could not comprised whole book as a one book? These, this Quran was written after the death of Prophet Muhammad Sahib, even not only 2 or 12 years, but more than 100 or 80 years after the death of the Prophet Muhammad. This Quran was composed by the beginning composed by the Uthman, the third caliphate of the Islam. So how it can be a kalam or voice of the Allah, or as you say book? whenever the resemblance of the Quran, Torah, and Bible is the same. The Old Testament, Bible, and the Quran almost same. This is why so many times the Jesus name came in this book. And when the Allah sent two books earlier, that is Torah and Quran, then what is need of the sent a new book for the Muslims as Quran? Because the Torah followers and the Islam Bible follower are not following the reality of the Islam or follow the Islam. This is why, although it has been tried by Prophet Muhammad at the beginning that all whole the Christianity or Judaism must be converted to Islam, but he was failed almost 10 years in Makkah, and only 83 Muslims were present in Makkah, and means only conversion of the Islam, the Jews tribes only 83% or maximum 100% or lesser 43% maybe, means 40 to 100 people had converted to Islam. Then because they know, they read the Bible and Torah, this is why they are thinking, they were thinking that this Quran is the only the stolen book from the Torah and Bible. This is why, this is the question raised, when already you have to taken the verses of Quran and Bible, then why not the Prophet Muhammad Sahib composed it? This is the question. And if this Quran was completed at the time of Prophet Muhammad Sahib 623 AD, then what is the complaints? Yeah, what is the compulsions that the first caliph did not compose it? What is the problem with this Quran? So, what is the guarantee the Quran is as it is as the Prophet Muhammad Sahib had written or his companions written? So, there is no guarantee. This is clear that this is not the sky book. This is a man-made book and written by as per advice of Prophet Muhammad Sahib for his vested interest. So this is why so many verses of Quran is very very against the who are non-Muslims or Kafirs, because the dictatorship of any cult shows the reflection of the its aspiration or its magnitude towards the non-Muslims or Kafirs or the unbelievers of the Islam. So this cult is propagated by a very very ordinary man that is known as Prophet Muhammad, as so-called prophet by the Muslims. We are not uh, we are not agree that Prophet Muhammad Sahib was an extraordinary man, because he never invented a single science aspects, or he never tried to brotherhood with those who were not no, who were not Muslims. So a kind-hearted prophet uh, cannot be a robbers, rapist, and the who looted the caravans of the Jew tribes, the Muslim tribes caravan were looted thrice or four times by the Prophet Muhammad, and this Prophet always fought with the Jewish tribes, or either with force to convert them into Islam. And Prophet killed so many Jews, and huge scale, mass scale massacre or ethnic cleansing of Jews were conducted by these Muslims after reading this Quran. So Muhammad ideology is totally against the humanity, and this ideology are now creating nuisance. This nuisance, my Western media people do not understand, or either they are blind or they have their brains are mortgaged by the in the light of liberalism or the secularism, where the a true Muslim cannot be a secular, and he will kill to you and rape with your women, then what need of you to respect such type of violent ideology which are creating havoc and nuisance and killing the non-Muslims, kafirs all along the world and and is propagating the violence in the name of Islam. And this is the Islamic terrorism which are creating nuisance. And many scholars who are doctor, literate, uh, doctor and PhD scholars, elite scholars are propagating the Islam, and this is why the all Islamic scholars are trying to hide the real face of Islam. But now it has been exposed that Islam is not a cult or religion of peace, but it is very, very against the unity. This this aspect of the Quran or the Islam must be understood by all non-Muslims and my brethren Muslims that what are you following the false expectation of Islam. So please leave the Islam and be human. Thank you. Vande Mataram. Jai Hind. Please share and subscribe my channel and put the bell icons so we get every notification well in time.